In a parallel universe, students don't just struggle with calculus and integrals. They also have to dodge the claws of vicious beasts. The college entrance exam has become a true battlefield of life and death. Amidst this harsh backdrop, we meet our protagonist, Su Jingming. Fate plays a cruel joke on him, granting an E-rank ability, a power mocked as nothing more than a weak electric baton. Yes, you heard that right. While others can summon storms and shatter mountains, his ability is barely enough to make someone's body tingle. Mocked by classmates, dismissed by teachers, his future seems sealed, until a mysterious mechanical voice suddenly echoes in his mind, unlocking a path to defy destiny. All right then, no more wasting time. Let's dive straight into the story. The story kicks off at Jiangxing Second High School, in Senior Class 5, where the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife because there's only one day left until the unified exam, the culmination of years of hard study. The homeroom teacher, Chun Fan, lays down the law. For those taking the liberal arts exam, go home tonight and make sure you have all your writing utensils ready. And for those of you taking the martial arts exam, you'd better have your combat suits and weapons prepared. He then drops a bombshell of a warning, emphasizing with a stern look, "Let me emphasize this one last time. The martial arts exam carries a risk of death. I don't recommend it for anyone with an awakened ability below D rank." Amidst this tense atmosphere, we meet Su Jingming who, far from being scared, smirks to himself, thinking, "Is he calling me out?" Before revealing his big secret in an inner monologue. "I, Su Jingming, have transmigrated." He explains that this new world is called Blue Star, a place with a technological level similar to his previous life, but with the minor addition of a giant, ominous purple vortex swirling ominously in the sky. This vortex isn't just for show, as this world is also home to terrifying, bloodthirsty, and downright massive vicious beasts that look like they've escaped from a nightmare convention. But where there are monsters, there must be heroes, and in this world, they are the awakened, individuals who possess incredible abilities to fight back against these monstrous threats. The system is pretty straightforward. Everyone awakens an ability at the age of 16, and the powers are incredibly diverse, ranging from elemental control to super strength. Of course, not all abilities are created equal. They are divided into 9 ranks from F to A, and the harsh reality is that the vast majority of people can only awaken abilities between F rank and D rank, making survival a real challenge. And just what is Su Jingming's epic, world-changing ability, you ask? Well, it's an E-rank weak current, whose power is about the same as a stun baton. As if on cue, the class bully immediately slams his hand on Su Jingming's desk, shouting in disbelief, "Su Jingming, after everything Teacher Chen said, you're not still planning on taking the martial arts exam, are you?" This blonde-haired delinquent, Huang Tian, leans in with a sneer and continues his tirade. "You're just some E-rank trash. You'll only embarrass the school if you go. Why don't you just stick to the liberal arts track? You can come work a desk job at my family's company and barely scrape by." But before Su Jingming has to deal with this nuisance, the beautiful Lin Qingwan steps in to defend him, pointing a finger at the bully and declaring, "Huang Tian, you should worry about yourself." Huang Tian simply scoffs, turning back to issue a challenge. "Humph, Lin Qingwan, I'll show you who's truly the best during the unified exam." With a final parting shot aimed at Su Jingming, he walks away, adding, "As for this pretty boy Su Jingming, he'll just end up dead on the exam grounds." With the bully gone, Lin Qingwan turns to Su Jingming with a look of genuine concern, advising him, "Su Jingming, don't pay any attention to him. Everyone has their own worth. Choosing the liberal arts track and living out your life in the city, that's a good life too, isn't it?" The story then lays out the system in the Daxia Nation, where higher education is split into 2 tracks, as seen on Su Jingming's registration form, which confirms his E-rank status and explains that the liberal arts path is for the weak who will become ordinary people. In stark contrast, those who choose the martial arts track must enter a designated, monster-filled location during the exam and fight vicious beasts to the death. The prize for surviving this trial by fire is the chance to enter a prestigious awakened university, where years of training can transform them into true, ranked awakened, wielding immense power. However, Su Jingming has a different perspective, thinking to himself that while his teacher and Lin Qingwan are worried, he knows that in a world this dangerous, avoiding one deadly exam is meaningless when a beast invasion could happen at any moment. The reason for Su Jingming's unwavering decision is a tragic one, as a flashback reveals that his parents in this world died in a brutal beast tide, leaving him orphaned and traumatized. This painful memory fuels his determination, as Su Jingming makes a silent vow, I don't want to be completely powerless the next time I have to face something like that. And so, back in the present, with a look of pure resolve, Su Jingming clutches his registration form and declares, I'm still choosing the martial arts exam. Later that day, as the sun begins to set, Su Jingming isn't resting but is instead beginning his grueling training regimen. We see his silhouette against the window as he practices intensely with a spear, his shouts echoing in the empty room. He channels his seemingly weak E-rank ability, causing blue lightning to crackle and surge along the shaft of his weapon. With a fierce cry, he unleashes the electricity-infused spear, showing a level of combat prowess that defies his low rank. But even the most determined hero has his limits, and a moment later we see him comically drained, exclaiming how tired he is. His body finally gives out completely, and he collapses onto the floor, unable to train for even a second longer. Lying there, Su Jingming reflects on his journey. He chose a spear 2.5 years ago, but is still a beginner. However, a $300,000 combat technique, called Lightning Gale Break, gives him a slight edge over the average E-rank await. Su Jingming knows the odds are stacked against him, musing that the death rate for students below D rank in the martial arts exam gets higher every year. But with his mind made up, he pushes himself up and slams his fist against the lockers, declaring, if I want to get into an awakened university, I have to risk it all. At that very moment, as if responding to his unwavering resolve, a strange blue holographic screen begins to materialize right before his eyes. The screen flickers to life, displaying a single, world-altering message. System activating. His eyes widen in utter disbelief, the glowing blue light reflected in his pupils as he tries to comprehend what's happening. It all clicks into place as the system activation completes and offers him a newbie pack, causing Su Jingming to gasp. Could this be the Transmigrator's cheat system? His shock quickly morphs into a greedy, excited grin as he eagerly asks the most important question of his new life. What's in the pack? The system doesn't disappoint, revealing the contents to be a legendary S-rank ability and 200 ability points, a starter pack fit for a king. His mind immediately grasps the incredible value of this reward, flashing to an image of how S-rankers are treated, as priceless geniuses who are fought over by the top universities and showered with resources. Tears of joy well up in his eyes as he reaches for the screen, overwhelmed with the realization that a useless E-ranker like him now actually has a chance to defy his fate. Without a moment's hesitation and with a wild look in his eyes, Su Jingming reaches out to the system panel and declares, claim. The system instantly confirms his choice. The newbie pack is successfully claimed, 200 ability points are added to his account, and the distribution of his new S-rank ability, Violet Firmament Divine Lightning, begins. The transformation is immediate and visceral, as the divine lightning surges directly into his heart, kickstarting an incredibly painful evolution. As the progress bar hits 10%, Su Jingming is racked with agony, the sheer force of the energy coursing through him beginning to tear his shirt apart. The power continues to build uncontrollably, with the progress bar rapidly jumping to 30% as a massive aura of violet lightning explodes from his body. This raw energy becomes so intense that it shatters the floor beneath him and blows out the windows of his apartment. The commotion is so huge that it draws the attention of his neighbors, who look up to see a strange, heart-like mass of energy pulsating above the Su family's home. Panicking at the bizarre sight, one of the neighbors quickly gets on the phone, yelling, "Is something wrong with the Su family's kid? Quick, call the fire department." Back inside, Su Jingming can barely endure the excruciating process, muttering so painful as the progress bar climbs past 60%. The phenomenon only grows larger, causing the sky above the entire street to darken suddenly, leaving the citizens below to wonder what could be causing such a strange event. The immense energy continues to gather, taking the form of a majestic and terrifying lightning dragon that materializes above the city, heralding a massive change. The phenomenon is so powerful that it alerts the city's top brass, with one high-ranking official looking out his window and wondering, "What terrifying lightning? I think I can feel some kind of immense pressure. Is a powerful lightning attribute vicious beast about to invade?" Taking no chances, the commander immediately gives an order to his subordinate, Jiangxing 3rd Legion, enter a state of high alert. The lightning dragon roars silently in the sky, a beautiful yet terrifying spectacle of pure, unadulterated power. All of this energy is emanating from a single source, as a massive pillar of light shoots directly out of the blown-out window of Su Jingming's apartment. Back inside, Su Jingming lets out one final, agonizing roar as the transformation progress bar makes its final, rapid climb past 99%. Then, silence falls as two system messages appear in his mind. announcing that the process is at 100% and the ability transformation is complete. In the aftermath, a cocoon of pure energy forms in the center of the wrecked room before it begins to crack and shatter. From within the cocoon of light, a hand emerges, clenching into a fist that crackles with powerful, newly formed violet light. Su Jingming stands triumphantly, marveling at his new power, exclaiming, "So this is the S-rank ability, Violet Firmament Divine Lightning. It's on a completely different level from my old stun baton. A single blast would be enough to blow a person to smithereens." Looking at the hole in his ceiling and the shattered window, Su Jingming sighs, realizing he might have caused a bit too much of a commotion with his power-up. He then remembers the other part of his reward, looking at the system panel and wondering, "Oh right, the newbie pack also gave me 200 ability points. What are these for?" The system helpfully explains that ability points, gained from killing beasts, can be used to upgrade his level and skills. A wide grin spreads across Su Jingming's face as he exclaims, "Heh, I love this kind of simple and direct cheat system." Open system panel. His status screen appears, displaying his name, his unranked level, his shiny new S-rank ability, his stats, his beginner-level skills, and of course, his 200 available ability points. With the deadly exam just one day away, Su Jingming knows he needs to get as strong as possible, declaring his intent to use all 200 points to maximize his combat power. He makes a strategic choice, deciding to strengthen his fundamental attributes of physique and spirit, believing them to be the foundation of all his abilities. A flurry of numbers appears as the system instantly begins allocating the points, his vitality and mind stats rapidly increasing. A new, potent aura erupts around Su Jingming as the enhancement takes effect, signifying a fundamental increase in his power. He looks on in pure amazement, thinking to himself, "So this is what it feels like to enhance vitality and mind." He clenches his fist, feeling the surge of newfound power coursing through his veins after the stat enhancement. He tests his new strength, throwing a practice punch so fast that it leaves an afterimage, wreathed in the crackling violet energy of his divine light. A confident smile spreads across Su Jingming's face as he notes, "With my base stats improved, both my combat techniques and ability control will be enhanced as well." He then takes a closer look at his system panel, calculating that with a 20-point increase in each stat, one ability point is equivalent to 0.2 vitality or 0.2 hertz. This boost in power makes him confident about getting into a university, but he still wonders how he compares to the 700,000 other examinees and the true geniuses of the province. In a cool display of his improved control, he casually stomps his foot, causing his spear to fly from the ground into his waiting hand. With his weapon now equipped, Su Jingming decides his next move. "I'll know once I test my stats at the Martial Hall." But just as he's about to head out, his front door is violently kicked off its hinges with a loud crash. A full squad of firefighters bursts into his apartment, leaving a completely bewildered Su Jingming to wonder what is possibly going on. The lead firefighter gets straight to the point, announcing, "We've received a distress call. A fire was reported here." Standing calmly amidst the wreckage of his own home, Su Jingming explains to the bewildered firefighters, "It was probably fluctuations from ability cultivation. It's already under control." In a world where such things are apparently common, the fire chief simply accepts the explanation, reporting into his radio, "I see. Emergency resolved." Pulling out. As they leave, one of the younger firefighters looks back in awe, thoroughly impressed that a mere student could cause such a massive commotion just from training. With the fire truck driving away, the comical interruption is finally over, and Su Jingming is free to go about his day. On his way out, he reassures his concerned neighbors that everything is fine before confirming he's heading to the Martial Hall, earning their praise for his diligence. The scene shifts to a massive complex, explaining that martial halls were born from the need for awakened to have a place to train their bodies and minds. Su Jingming arrives at his destination, the impressive-looking Thunderbolt Martial Hall, one of the two most renowned training hall chains in the Xia Nation. He chose this one because while the Grizzly Bear Hall is for the wealthy, Thunderbolt kindly offers free access to all high school students. Inside the bustling hall, his eyes land on a group of students, and he seems to recognize one of them. The focus shifts to a pretty girl with striking red eyes, who is revealed to be Tang Qi, Su Jingming's cousin. His cousin, Tang Qi, stands there with a friend, looking every bit the popular school beauty. Su Jingming walks over to greet her, surprised, "Sister Qi, you're at Thunderbolt Martial Hall too." She replies coolly that she's just accompanying a friend, who seems to be quite flustered by Su Jingming's sudden appearance. Not wanting to interrupt, Su Jingming politely excuses himself, saying, "I see. Well, I won't keep you. I'm heading to the training room." As he walks away, Tang Chi's friend immediately asks who the handsome stranger is, while Tang Chi herself thinks that her cousin seems a bit different than before. She introduces him to the group. Su Jingming. He's my cousin. He's a third year like us, taking the martial exam tomorrow. Her friend, Xiaoya, doesn't hide her interest, admitting she has a little crush and that a guy that good-looking would make a great boyfriend, provided his strength isn't too shabby. However, Tang Chi immediately bursts her bubble, bluntly stating, "Hate to disappoint you, but he only awakened an E-rank ability," which instantly shatters Xiaoya's fantasy. Another guy in their group smirks, condescendingly remarking on Su Jingming's courage, but Tang Chi looks genuinely worried, thinking the risk is far too high for him. Sensing the awkward mood, Xiaoya quickly changes the subject, pulling her friend along and reminding everyone that they were there to check out the hall. As his cousin's group walks off, one of them remarks that it's their first time at Thunderbolt, having spent all their time at the much more expensive Grizzly Bear Hall. Meanwhile, Su Jingming has found a private training room and stands before a large target, ready to test his limits. The moment he grips his spear, he notices it feels significantly lighter, realizing that his physique has grown much stronger than before. He knows this weapon might not be optimal for his new strength, but with the unified exam tomorrow, there's no time to find a better one. He decides to get a baseline reading, announcing, "Let's see what my peak power is," without using any ability enhancements. Taking a deep, centering breath, he prepares to unleash his full physical might. With a powerful grunt, he puts all of his strength into a single, focused spear thrust. The spear slams into the high-tech target with a deafening crash, demonstrating his explosive power. The results are displayed on the screen, a staggering 321 kp, leaving a significant crater in the beginner-grade memory alloy target. Su Jingming clenches his fist, thrilled with the outcome, as his raw physical strength has now more than doubled, far surpassing the 100 kp strength of a normal awakening. Now satisfied with his physical baseline, Su Jingming's eyes glow with power as he declares, "Now let's try the purple lightning divine thunder." He begins to gather his energy, and the powerful violet lightning of his S-rank ability crackles to life around his body. In a spectacular display, he leaps into the air and brings his spear crashing down on the target, unleashing a torrent of divine lightning. The testing machine flashes an unbelievable number for an unranked student, a staggering 3,021 kp. Su Jingming grins, ecstatic with the result, realizing that his S-rank ability is absolutely broken, allowing him to output power equivalent to a mid-tier first-rank awakened before he's even ranked. But even this incredible display isn't enough for him, as he knows deep down, and this isn't even my limit. He reveals his true trump card, the combination of his enhanced raw strength, his S-rank ability, and his special combat technique, the Lightning Gale Break. He immediately puts this to the test, launching into a dynamic attack that perfectly fuses his spearmanship with the wild arcs of divine light. Focusing all of his power, he channels the energy into the tip of his spear for one final, ultimate strike. The attack culminates in a massive, condensed sphere of pure violet lightning that detonates against the target, showcasing the true potential of his power. With a final, mighty roar of break, Su Jingming unleashes the full force of his ultimate attack. The resulting explosion is immense, creating a swirling vortex of pure, destructive lightning energy that obliterates the target. The shockwave is so powerful that it rocks the entire martial hall, causing everyone in the main lobby to stumble and think an earthquake has just hit. On the same floor, Tang Chi and her friends are also thrown off balance by the violent tremor. One of her companions, however, instantly recognizes the true nature of the disturbance, exclaiming, "What a powerful energy surge! That's definitely at the ability user level." This discovery confuses them, as this floor is reserved for high schoolers, and they know all the known prodigies train at the exclusive Grizzly Bear Hall. Her curiosity piqued by the mysterious powerhouse, Tang Chi says with determination, "Let's go find out." The group follows the energy fluctuations down the corridor, right as Su Jingming casually steps out of the training room, having finished his test. They run into each other in the hallway, where a surprised Tang Chi asks if he's heading home, to which Su Jingming nonchalantly agrees. While Tang Chi wishes him good luck on the exam, her friends completely ignore the rank cousin, intent on finding the source of the massive power surge, ironically unaware that he's standing right in front of them. Ignoring her cousin, Tang Chi and her group arrive at the training room door, with one of them confirming that this is undoubtedly the place where the energy surge originated. They push the door open only to be greeted by a scene of utter devastation, with the durable memory alloy target and the floor around it completely annihilated. The entire group is rendered speechless, their faces a mask of pure shock at the destructive power that must have been unleashed here. Xiaoya is the first to speak, stammering. Damn, even memory alloy was blasted apart. How powerful was that attack? Do we really have a high school student this strong in Jiangxing? One of the young men offers a theory, suggesting it was probably a powerful Tier 2 user who wandered onto the wrong floor by mistake, as the violent energy remnants are too strong for a student. The others quickly agree, scoffing at the idea that any high schooler, even a supposed prodigy from the provincial capital, could possess this kind of power. But Xiaoya, ever the romantic, excitedly proposes a different theory. Hey, only Su Jingming passed by here just now. He's actually a hidden genius who's been concealing his power. Her idea is immediately shot down as web novel fantasy, with another boy pointing out the logical limit that an E-ranker, even a hidden one, could never hide this much strength. The leader of their group rationalizes that the powerful user must have simply left through another exit, before turning to ask a silent Tang Chi for her opinion. Ignoring them, Tang Chi walks toward the crater, touching the shattered wall, and with a pensive look, she quietly replies, maybe. Upon closer inspection of the crater, Tang Chi finds a small, precise hole, realizing these traces look like they were made by a spear. This discovery makes her recall her cousin, who is the only person she saw with a spear, and she begins to seriously question if Su Jingming is really just overestimating himself by taking the exam. The story then jumps forward in time to the fated day of the power exam. The students are dropped off by buses at the exam site, a massive, fenced-off zone of urban ruins that will serve as their battlefield. A crowd of hopeful examinees, armed with an assortment of weapons, nervously makes their way toward the entrance. In the middle of the crowd stands Su Jingming, looking completely calm and confident with his spear resting on his shoulder. However, the students' morale takes a nosedive when they spot a powerful unicorn rhino inside the testing area, a beast far stronger than anything they were expecting. As the crowd panics, an arrogant long-haired youth named Zhou Mingyang scoffs at their cowardice, declaring that anyone who can't handle such a weak beast is a useless nobody. We are then introduced to Su Jingming's close friend, Lu Jie, who asks about the arrogant guy and learns he is Zhou Mingyang, a famous prodigy from the rival number 1 high. The gossip continues, revealing that Zhou Mingyang possesses a B-rank power called Gale and has already broken through to the official rank of Tier 1, making him a top contender. Undeterred by the competition, Su Jingming sizes up the so-called top contender, Zhou Mingyang, and wonders to himself which of them is truly stronger. Suddenly, a loud voice cuts through the chatter, calling all the test takers to attention for a final briefing. A stern, battle-scarred officer introduces himself as Wang Haiyang, the chief commander of the exam, and begins to go over the key points. He explains that the exam will be a 12-hour-long survival test taking place in the massive ruined town directly behind them. A map is shown, detailing how the area is divided into 4 zones: outer, middle, inner, and core, with students earning points by killing the increasingly powerful beasts within. Commander Wang Haiyang gives a final, grim warning, telling the students to know their limits and not risk their lives in the dangerous core zone just for the sake of points. But this warning does nothing to dampen Su Jingming's spirit. With his new power, he sets his sights on conquering not just the inner zone, but the core itself. After the briefing, the students are directed to their homeroom teachers to receive their exam supplies, and we see teacher Chun Fan handing out the kits. Su Jingming gets his bag from his teacher, noting that there are 3 standard issue items inside. These items are a smartwatch to track their score in real time, a tactical backpack with 12 hours of supplies, and a crucial safety sphere that can create a temporary, impenetrable barrier in an emergency. Teacher Chin Fan gives Su Jingming one last piece of advice, reminding him that his life is more important than the exam and to use the safety sphere if needed. Just then, his compassionate classmate, Lin Qingwan, rushes over and calls out his name. She kindly offers him a spot on her team, with a newly awakened C-rank student promising to watch his back. However, another member of their group immediately objects, arguing that bringing an E-ranker along will only drag their score down due to the 5-person team limit. The protest grows louder as a different teammate angrily accuses Lin Qingwan of breaking their previous agreement at the last minute. The situation gets ugly as the teammates point fingers, loudly declaring that they refuse to carry dead weight through the exam. The C-rank student tries to be diplomatic, telling Su Jingming he appreciates the class rep's kindness, but it's clear the team doesn't want him. Completely unfazed by the drama, Su Jingming calmly resolves the issue himself, stating with a smirk, "I'll go solo. You guys can form your own team." Lin Qingwan is shocked by his decision, but seeing his determination, she reluctantly accepts his choice and simply tells him to be careful. One of the other teammates condescendingly tells Su Jingming he's being sensible before turning to Lin Qingwan and suggesting they go team up with the powerful Huang Tian instead. As his old classmates walk away, Su Jingming smirks, thinking to himself, even without you guys, I can still score high. An official announcement echoes through the area as broadcast drones take flight. Jiangxing's 2037 National Power Exam officially begins. With a final command to enter the site, the gates swing open and a torrent of students rushes into the ruined city, each one ready to fight for their future. Among the crowd, his cousin Tang Qi and her team run with determined expressions, ready for the challenge ahead. Other students are shown charging in as well, a sea of determined faces ready to prove their worth. The pre-exam favorite, Zhou Mingyang, is already at the front of the pack, showcasing his superior speed and confidence. In stark contrast to the frantic rush, a single footstep lands calmly and firmly on the pavement. It's Su Jingming, beginning his solo journey into the exam zone with his spear in hand, a look of quiet resolve on his face. He calmly taps his smartwatch, activating his exam timer and official entry into the contest. A holographic panel projects from the watch, confirming his identity and officially starting his solo hunt for points. A quick check of the live rankings shows that the top contender, Zhou Mingyang, is already in first place with 7 points, leading the board. Su Jingming sees the score and smirks, unfazed by the competition, as expected from number 1 high's top student, already racking up kills so fast. Time for me to make a move too. He decides on a bold strategy. Since it's a long way to the core of the exam zone, he'll head straight there to hunt the stronger beasts. We then see him running solo through the desolate streets of the ruined city, moving deeper into the danger zone. His journey is quickly interrupted by a grim sight, the mangled and bloody corpse of another student lying in the street. He stops, a sobered expression on his face, realizing the student died so quickly they didn't even have time to activate their emergency safety sphere. The sight is a stark reminder of the stakes, as he thinks to himself, if I hadn't awakened an S-rank power, I'd probably end up like this too. Shaking off his fear, he kneels to activate the fallen student's watch to call for retrieval, reaffirming his conviction that such risks are necessary to defy one's fate. With his resolve hardened by this grim encounter, his eyes glow with a new, cold determination. Just then, a massive, clawed paw silently lands on the pavement right behind him. His first hunt is about to begin. The moment he hardens his resolve, a vicious shadow cat leaps from the shadows, and Su Jingming instantly realizes the dead body was bait for an ambush. As the beast lunges, its eyes glowing with purple malice, he knows for certain it's a trap. The shadow cat circles him, ready to strike, but Su Jingming remains calm, taking a solid defensive stance with his spear. He expertly parries the beast's first lightning-fast attack, showing no signs of being a novice. He then fluidly dodges a follow-up lunge, his movements clean and composed. This beast is known as the newbie killer. It's agile, has razor-sharp claws, and a devastating bite force of over 1,000 kilograms. A close-up on the shadow cat's face reveals the pure, feral malice he is now facing. Su Jingming recalls that vicious beasts possess a ferocious aura that can intimidate and paralyze inexperienced fighters, often leading to their deaths. The narration explains that wealthy families get around this by hiring powerful bodyguards to take their children on real beast hunts from a young age. But as Su Jingming prepares to counterattack, he reflects that he never had that kind of opportunity. This is the first time he's ever truly faced a vicious beast. The ferocious shadow cat lunges, its razor-sharp claws aimed directly at Su Jingming's throat. In response, he simply channels his violet firmament divine lightning into the shaft of his spear. He meets the attack head-on, effortlessly skewering the beast mid-lunge as a blast of lightning kills it instantly. As the beast falls, Su Jingming comes to a surprising realization. Looks like this aura has no effect on me at all. He stands over the beast's corpse as a system notification confirms the kill and awards him 3 ability points. Checking his score, he knows that relying on these low-point, unranked beasts won't be enough to secure a top spot. Since the beast's fear-inducing aura doesn't affect him, he decides there's no reason to linger in the outer area and begins heading toward the more dangerous central zone. Along the way, he effortlessly dispatches numerous other unranked beasts, steadily racking up small amounts of ability points with each kill. He understands that what he truly lacks is actual combat experience, something he can't gain by simply one-shotting weaker monsters with his overpowered ability. Furthermore, he realizes that his S-rank ability has a massive energy cost, lasting less than an hour at full power, meaning he'll have to use it strategically to survive the full 12-hour exam. With his new plan in mind, Su Jingming decides to conserve his energy for the core area, relying only on his spearmanship to gain combat experience along the way. His strategy is immediately put to the ultimate test as he encounters the very same unicorn rhino that had the other students terrified. The massive beast lets out a roar and thunders towards him, its charge powerful enough to crack the pavement. Undeterred, Su Jingming charges forward as well, bravely meeting the beast head-on with only his spear and his skill. He displays incredible agility, leaping high into the air and gracefully flipping over the charging rhino. In midair, he perfectly positions himself for a powerful downward strike, targeting the beast's exposed weak spot. With a clean and powerful thrust, he drives his spear deep into the back of the unicorn rhino's skull. He lands smoothly on his feet as the colossal beast, which had seemed so invincible to others, crashes to the ground behind him, dead. Su Jingming himself is surprised at how easily he dispatched the rhino, wondering if his spearmanship had broken through to a new level without him noticing. He checks his system panel, and his suspicion is confirmed. His spearmanship skill has now reached the intermediate level, proving that practical combat is indeed the most effective way for him to grow stronger. Curious about his potential, Su Jingming wonders what would happen if he improved his spearmanship even further with his ability points. The moment he decides to upgrade, his mind is instantly flooded with an immense amount of new information, as if he's lived 1,000 lives as a spear master. He clutches his head, amazed, as countless advanced spearmanship techniques are downloaded directly into his brain. Armed with this incredible new knowledge, he grins with anticipation. I can't wait to find a first-order vicious beast to test this on. Meanwhile, his former classmate Lin Qingwan is carefully making her way through the city with her new team when she spots a figure leaping across the rooftops in the distance. She stops, a puzzled look on her face, and says aloud, I think I just saw Su Jingming. Her teammates immediately dismiss the idea, telling her she must be seeing things since it would be a death wish for someone of his supposed weakness to be this deep in the zone. Their logic makes sense, but she can't shake the feeling it was him, and she begins to worry for his safety. Just then, a teammate calls out, having discovered the massive, freshly killed corpse of a unicorn rhino just ahead. The group gathers around the body, noting that the fatal wound is a clean, piercing strike to the head, concluding it must have been killed just minutes ago by a long spear. The evidence is undeniable, and Lin Qingwan finally puts it all together, gasping. Could it be that the person we saw nearby just now was really Su Jingming? Her teammates refuse to believe it, with one retorting, You're not trying to say that Su Jingming killed this unicorn rhino, are you? That's a beast only a C rank could kill on their own. Tired of the debate, Lin Qingwan decides to get concrete proof, suggesting they just check his score on the live rankings. She pulls up the leaderboard on her smartwatch, and there, sitting at an unbelievable 46th place with 256 points, is Su Jingming's name, confirming her suspicion. Her teammates are left utterly dumbfounded, unable to process how the student they dismissed as E-rank trash could have possibly broken into the top 50. Meanwhile, in the audience stands outside, education officials monitor the student's progress, noting that First High is, as usual, dominating the top 10 spots. They are particularly impressed with Zhou Mingyang, who is cruising in first place with 412 points, looking like a lock for the city's top scorer. Zhang Wenshan, the director of the Jiangxing Education Bureau, smugly praises Zhou Mingyang as the city's ace, predicting he'll be a top contender in the provincial exams. He then congratulates the principals of First and Third High for their students' strong showings, who eagerly return the praise. However, the director's expression sours as he turns to the faculty from Second High, admonishing them for their poor performance, as their highest-ranked student is only in 18th place. Back in the VIP stands, the principal of Second High, Zhao Yao, feels the immense pressure, silently praying that his students, including the unexpected Su Jingming, can make him proud. His hope quickly turns to confusion as he asks his staff, Wait, who is this Su Jingming? How have I never heard of this kid before? Su Jingming's homeroom teacher, Chen Fan, is also present and is utterly shocked to hear the news, exclaiming, Su Jingming. He actually made it into the top 50. Teacher Chen Fan struggles to believe it, wondering if the E-rank student he knew could have been hiding his true strength all this time. The principal grows increasingly frustrated that he can't find any camera footage of this mystery ace, wondering just how he's accumulating points so quickly. Meanwhile, the man of the hour, Su Jingming, has successfully reached his destination, the high-danger central area. Instead of proceeding with caution, he deliberately crushes a glass bottle on the ground, creating a loud noise to lure out a worthy opponent. He calmly munches on an energy bar while he waits, knowing that the intelligent, ranked beasts in this area are a completely different challenge. His bait works perfectly, and his eyes narrow as he senses an approaching threat, muttering, Here it comes. A moment later, a ferocious tiger-like beast with glowing blue eyes smashes through a line of cars, charging directly at him with murderous intent. Su Jingming calmly identifies his new opponent, a ferocious first-order vicious beast known as the Blade-Armed Tiger. Instead of being cautious, he considers this a stroke of good luck, pleased to have found a worthy opponent so quickly. Eager for a real fight, he readies his spear, declaring, "You'll be the perfect test for my improved spearmanship." The blade-armed tiger roars in fury and lunges forward, unleashing a devastatingly powerful attack. With his newly honed skills, Su Jingming easily sidesteps the beast's ferocious charge. He then effortlessly parries the tiger's bladed claw, the speed of their clash creating a blur of motion. The powerful beast actually shudders as it lands, seemingly taken aback by Su Jingming's unexpected strength. A confident smirk appears on Su Jingming's face as he taunts the beast. "Is this all the power a first-order blade-armed tiger has? I guess I'll only have to put in some real effort for the Tiger King." Having completely gauged his opponent's strength, he decides to end the fight, shouting, "I'll send you on your way." In a masterful display of skill, he dodges under the tiger's final swipe and simultaneously runs it through with his spear, killing the first-order beast with ease. Despite having been run through by a spear, the blade-armed tiger lets out a final, defiant roar, refusing to go down without a fight. Su Jingming calmly holds his position, anticipating the beast's final, desperate attack. The two lock eyes in a tense stare down, the calm and collected hunter against the enraged and dying beast. With a final roar of desperation, the blade-armed tiger launches itself at Su Jingming one last time. It unleashes a wild flurry of attacks with its bladed arms, forcing him to expertly weave and dodge between the deadly swipes. The beast's final rampage tears up the surrounding pavement, sending debris flying in all directions. While effortlessly evading the attack, Su Jingming can't help but be impressed, noting the beast's tenacious life force. He continues to skillfully dodge the tiger's onslaught, making its desperate struggle look like a child's tantrum. Deciding he's seen enough, he gathers his own power for a finishing blow, declaring that struggling any further is futile. With a final, powerful roar, he unleashes his own ultimate technique to put the beast out of its misery for good. The blade-armed tiger lets out a final death roar as Su Jingming's powerful attack lands true. The mighty first-order beast collapses to the ground, slain by the student it had underestimated. A system notification immediately appears, awarding him a satisfying 14 ability points for the kill. He looks at his fallen foe and realizes that what others see as a deadly exam is, for him, a perfect paradise to level up. With this renewed sense of purpose, he resolves to hurry and rack up as many ability points as possible by hunting even stronger monsters. Meanwhile, back in the VIP stands, the leaderboard updates, showing Su Jingming has climbed to 32nd place, much to the surprise of Teacher Chen's colleagues. Teacher Chen Fan suddenly finds himself surrounded by praise, with everyone congratulating him for his brilliant teaching, though he humbly insists it's all the students' own hard work. Their conversation is cut short as someone shouts and points to the screen in disbelief. Su Jingming's rank has skyrocketed once again, this time to 25th place. The education officials quickly do the math, recalling that a first-order beast is worth around 14 to 16 points. The principal then comes to a stunning realization. Since the scoreboard updates every 4 seconds, Su Jingming's massive point gain must have happened in the blink of an eye. Director Zhang Wenshan deduces that in a mere 4 seconds, Su Jingming must have killed several powerful beasts, and he turns to Principal Zhao Yao demanding to know why he's never heard of this student. A sweating Principal Zhao Yao admits that he just found out about him as well, and quickly deflects the question to the homeroom teacher, Chen Fan. The principal then shoves the terrified teacher Chen Fan forward, demanding that he explain Su Jingming's talent to the leadership. Standing before the two most powerful figures in the city's education system, a stammering teacher Chen Fan reveals the unbelievable truth. Su Jingming only has an E-rank ability, weak current. His principal is in disbelief, but Chen Fan insists it's true, adding that he specifically warned Su Jingming not to take the exam because of how weak his ability was. Director Zhang Wenshan finds this information fascinating, concluding that for Su Jingming to succeed with an E-rank, he must be exceptional in other areas. The director decides to wait and see how things play out, predicting that with his current momentum, Su Jingming will break into the top 10 soon. He adds ominously that once they get camera footage of him, they'll know if he's a true genius or simply a cheater. This intense scrutiny and veiled threat leave both Principal Zhao Yao and teacher Chen Fan frozen in a state of pure, unadulterated shock. And just as director Zhang Wenshan predicted, the leaderboard updates a moment later, showing Su Jingming's name has officially entered the top 10, now sitting in 9th place. Elsewhere in the exam zone, his cousin, Tang Qi, currently in 12th place, finally puts all the pieces together, thinking, So it was you who landed that blow yesterday after all, cousin Jingming. Even the top-ranked student, Zhou Mingyang, takes notice of the leaderboard, wondering about the new face in the top 10, Su Jingming. Never heard of him. Back with our protagonist, his performance has earned him the attention of a dedicated broadcast drone, which now follows his every move. The drone's camera captures him in the midst of a spectacular and skillful battle, displaying his newfound prowess for the VIPs to see. He easily slays another first-order beast, earning a quick 14 ability points and reaffirming that the central area is the most efficient place to hunt. He glances up at the drone, correctly deducing that its presence means he has officially broken into the top 10. Standing over his latest kill, he declares that he has no intention of hiding his strength anymore, and that for him, the top 10 is just the beginning. Before heading to the even more dangerous core area, he decides to boost his strength again, pulling up his status screen to spend his 312 accumulated ability points. However, he discovers a crucial piece of information. He cannot level up to a ranked ability user with points alone and will need a proper cultivation method. With that option off the table, he makes the next logical choice, deciding to invest all his points to further increase his base stats. Feeling the rush from his newly enhanced stats, Su Jingming clenches his fist and declares, "This feels great. It's time to head to the core area." He arrives at the zone marked Danger Level, Maximum, and is immediately met with a brutal scene. A pack of blade-armed tigers feasting on a dead unicorn rhino. The leader of the pack is a magnificent and terrifying specimen, with a flowing red mane and exceptionally long, sharp arm blades. From the safety of his hiding spot, Su Jingming assesses the threat, counting 9 tigers and correctly identifying the fearsome alpha as the blade-armed Tiger King. Rather than being intimidated, a greedy grin spreads across his face as he realizes, looks like this is going to be a huge haul. But just as he prepares to attack the pack, his enhanced senses flare, telling him he's not alone. He turns and calls out into the seemingly empty air, "Come out. I know you're there," revealing the hidden form of his rival, Zhou Mingyang. The number 1 ranked student appears, complimenting Su Jingming's perception and admitting he was surprised that he was the mysterious new face in the top 10. Su Jingming recognizes the famous prodigy, asking how Zhou Mingyang knew who he was. Zhou Mingyang explains that he makes it a point to know all the strong contenders, and since Su Jingming was the only unknown, he correctly deduced he was the one causing an upset in the rankings. Zhou Mingyang steps forward, claiming, "I've had my eye on this pack of blade-armed tigers for a while," prompting an annoyed Su Jingming to ask, "Are you trying to steal my kill?" The rival suggests they work together, explaining that the Tiger King and its pack are too dangerous for one person. But Su Jingming immediately rejects the offer, saying, "No need." With a smirk of utter confidence, Su Jingming coolly informs the number 1 ranker, "I can handle them myself." He then leaps off his perch, boldly confronting the entire pack of 10 first-order beasts head-on. His sudden appearance startles the Tiger King and its pack, and they let out a furious roar at the intruder. Su Jingming's eyes narrow as he assesses the threat, noting that the beasts are intelligent enough to use a simple battle formation. The formidable Tiger King stands proudly on its recent kill, flanked by its 9 powerful minions. Unintimidated by their roars, Su Jingming stands his ground on top of a bus, ready for the fight to begin. Meanwhile, Zhou Mingyang hides nearby, deciding to watch the battle unfold to see if Su Jingming is a true genius or just a fool marching to his death. As the beasts prepare to charge, Su Jingming focuses his power, a swirling aura of energy gathering around him and his spear. With a powerful spin of his spear, Su Jingming prepares to engage the entire pack of blade-armed tigers. He immediately shows his overwhelming skill, effortlessly blocking a pincer attack from 2 of the beasts at once. He then parries another vicious claw attack, the force of the blow sending sparks flying from his spear. In a single fluid motion, he spins and counterattacks, instantly killing one of the tigers that tried to flank him. Within seconds, 2 of the first-order beasts lie dead at his feet, earning him a quick 15 ability points. Seeing its pack members dispatched so easily, the blade-armed Tiger King lets out a furious roar. Su Jingming, however, seems almost disappointed, remarking that it's a shame his physical strength isn't high enough to have killed them all in one go. Enraged, the Tiger King's eyes begin to glow with a red aura as it finally decides to enter the fray itself. Now, Su Jingming stands surrounded by the 7 remaining tigers, who are circling him like sharks. The Tiger King lets out a deafening battle cry, signaling that the real boss fight is about to begin. The battle begins as Su Jingming unleashes his powerful aura, the sheer force of it shattering the windows of all the nearby buildings. The shockwave is so intense that it even stuns Zhou Mingyang, who is watching from what he thought was a safe distance. Unaffected by the Tiger King's own intimidating presence, Su Jingming taunts it, You might scare others, but you can't scare me. He first moves to clear the field, efficiently killing the rest of the Tiger King's minions in a flurry of spear strikes. With the grunts out of the way, the enraged Tiger King lunges, and Su Jingming prepares to meet its attack head-on. He shows off his incredible agility, using a wrecked car as a ramp to launch himself high into the air for an acrobatic attack. The Tiger King's glowing red eyes track him as he soars through the air, preparing to strike from above. In a beautiful display of skill, he executes a powerful spinning slash while in midair. The attack lands perfectly, a devastating blow that crashes down directly onto the Tiger King's head. With that one clean hit, the mighty boss of the central area is slain, and the system awards Su Jingming a tidy sum of 20 ability points for the kill. Watching from the sidelines, Zhou Mingyang is left in a state of utter shock, unable to believe what he just saw. No way. He actually took care of them all in one go. What kind of monster is he? Meanwhile, Su Jingming stands over the corpse of the Tiger King, thrilled with his huge harvest of ability points and the potential for even more. Not to be outdone, Zhou Mingyang hardens his resolve and decides to hurry off to find his own beast pack to hunt. But first, he confronts Su Jingming, demanding to know how he defeated the pack and asking if his ability is a reinforcement type. As he leaps away to his next target, Su Jingming casually tells him the truth. No, I'm a lightning type. Zhou Mingyang takes this honest answer as a dismissive insult, becoming enraged that Su Jingming is seemingly toying with him. He quickly checks the live rankings, worried that Su Jingming's score is about to catch up to his, only to be met with an even greater shock. The leaderboard has already updated, showing that Su Jingming has blasted past him to claim the #1 spot with 1,122 points. Back in the VIP room, the atmosphere is electric, with director Zhang Wenshan celebrating. This confirms it. He's a genuine genius. The director is so ecstatic about discovering this new talent that he promises the principal of Second High a formal commendation from the city after the exam is over. Principal Zhao Yao is overcome with emotion, crying tears of joy that after so many years, his second high school finally has a student destined for greatness. 3 hours later, a very confused Zhou Mingyang finally arrives in the core zone, only to find it completely empty, and he wonders where all the fierce beasts have gone. He then stumbles upon a large group of the other top-ranked students and asks why they're all gathered in one place. His cousin, Tang Qi, explains the unbelievable situation. Su Jingming has single-handedly killed every beast in the entire zone, forcing them all to team up just to stay warm. Zhou Mingyang immediately calls it impossible, refusing to believe that one person could clear out the entire core zone alone. Tired of his arrogance, Tang Qi simply tells him to check the scoreboard for himself. He looks and is rendered completely speechless. Su Jingming is in first place with an astronomical 3,435 points, more than tripling his own score. Tang Qi breaks down the math for him, explaining that this means Su Jingming must have killed almost 200 first-order beasts in the core zone by himself. The humiliating truth finally dawns on Zhou Mingyang. Su Jingming wasn't worried about him. He was annoyed that he was getting in the way of his solo farming run. The other top rankers then explain their final, desperate plan, to team up and challenge the innermost core zone, a place so dangerous that entering it alone is a guaranteed death sentence. One of the other top students formally asks Zhou Mingyang, "That's why we're teaming up. Are you coming?" From high atop a mountain of beast corpses, Su Jingming overhears their plan and casually announces, "Count me in." He eats his last energy bar, knowing that with his supplies exhausted, the long and brutal exam is finally coming to an end. He decides he must go deeper for more points, but needs one final power-up to face the second-order beasts he knows are waiting there. A quick check of his status reveals that his solo rampage through the core zone has earned him a staggering 2,413 ability points. With a mischievous grin, he decides to spend his entire fortune on one final, game-changing upgrade. Crackling with newfound power, he rises, confident that with this last boost, he is more than ready to handle the exam's finale. The newly formed super team of top rankers then begins their final sprint into the innermost, most dangerous part of the exam site. There, they come face to face with the final boss, a massive, second-order beast covered in jagged red crystals. Su Jingming arrives moments later, looking completely unfazed as he calmly sizes up the final challenge of the combat exam. The team of top rankers is suddenly put on high alert as the final boss of the exam makes its presence known. A close-up reveals the terrifying face of a second-order beast, the bloodthirsty violent bear. The colossal creature stands amidst the ruins, its body covered in sharp crystals and radiating a powerful, dark aura. The usually arrogant Zhou Mingyang begins to panic, realizing the beast's hide is as tough as alloy and it could wipe out their entire team with a single swipe. His cousin, Tang Qi, quickly assesses the overwhelming odds and logically concludes, I think we should give up on this operation. She explains that the boss is surrounded by a personal army of other high-level beasts, and they would be torn apart before they even got close. Deciding that no amount of points is worth her life, she announces that she's quitting, as Zhou Mingyang curses the exam's creators. But just as the super team is about to give up, one of them points towards a lone figure approaching the danger zone. A shocked Tang Chi squints, her eyes widening in disbelief as she recognizes the approaching student. It's Su Jingming. And there he is, leaping across the rooftops alone, fearlessly heading straight for the final boss that the 10 strongest students in the city were too afraid to challenge. With a graceful leap, Su Jingming lands right in the middle of the innermost core, the most dangerous area of the exam. From a nearby rooftop, the other top rankers watch in disbelief, with Zhou Mingyang coldly remarking that charging into a beast pack like that is just asking to die. His landing immediately startles the entire horde of first-tier beasts, drawing all of their aggressive attention onto him. Without a shred of fear, Su Jingming charges headfirst into the pack, his spear becoming a blur of deadly efficiency. The powerful beasts, which were enough to make a team of the top 10 students retreat, are cut down with ease. He stands calmly in the eye of the storm, completely surrounded by ferocious monsters, yet in absolute control. In a stunning display of power, the entire horde of beasts that guarded the final boss is completely overwhelmed and annihilated. Watching from afar, his cousin Tang Chi begins to panic for his safety, resolving that she has to go and help him. The other students try to stop her, but she desperately explains that she can't just stand by and watch her own cousin die. But her worries are completely unnecessary. By the time she finishes her sentence, Su Jingming has already dealt with the minions and is now facing the final boss alone, his divine lightning crackling to life. The battlefield erupts in a brilliant flash of violet lightning as Su Jingming unleashes his S-rank ability, completely stunning the onlookers. Zhou Mingyang is struck dumb, finally having a horrifying realization. That lightning. Could it be the thunder-type power Su Jingming mentioned? Su Jingming stands in the center of the electrical storm, holding his spear aloft like a lightning rod, a true master of the thunder. He knew that relying on physical strength alone against so many powerful beasts was too much, and that he would have to use his true ability. A confident smirk plays on his lips as he revels in the feeling of his power, as expected of an S-class ability, so domineering and powerful. In a single, overwhelming blast, the entire horde of first-tier beasts guarding the final boss is instantly wiped out. Now, with its army of minions gone, the colossal, bloodthirsty violent bear turns its full attention to Su Jingming. The final boss lets out a deafening roar of pure rage, shaking the ruined city to its very foundations. Su Jingming calmly analyzes his final opponent, noting that while its massive body isn't agile, its power will be immense. He also observes that the bear is flanked by smaller, wolf-like minions that could prove to be an annoyance during the main fight. Having analyzed the final challenge, Su Jingming decides on his strategy for the battle ahead. His eyes glowing with power, he declares, let's clear the field first, deciding to eliminate the annoying minions before facing the boss. He explodes into motion, a lightning-fast blur as he systematically begins to dismantle the boss's personal army. The high-level beasts are no match for his speed and power, and they are slaughtered one after another. In a stunning display, he single-handedly wipes out the entire horde of beasts that accompanied the final boss. He pauses for a moment, marveling at the feeling of his S-class ability enhancing his body, but knows that he can't maintain this dangerous state for long. But with a final, powerful swing of his spear that wipes out the last of the minions, he declares that for this fight, it's more than enough. With the battlefield now completely cleared of all lesser beasts, he stands alone before the final challenge. The bloodthirsty violent bear roars, its rage palpable, and looms over the lone student who destroyed its army. The final battle of the exam begins as the colossal beast slams its paw down with enough force to shatter the street in a devastating opening attack. After dodging the beast's initial devastating attack, Su Jingming stands his ground. He launches a quick counterattack, but his lightning-infused spear sparks harmlessly off the bear's incredibly tough, crystal-studded hide. Realizing brute force won't work, he changes tactics, leaping high into the air to gain a better angle of attack. From above, he gathers the full power of his S-rank ability, preparing to unleash a devastating aerial assault. He rains down a massive blast of divine lightning, which engulfs the colossal beast in a brilliant explosion. The bloodthirsty violent bear roars in agony and rage, having finally been injured by the powerful attack. Su Jingming lands and smirks at the beast, taunting it. What's the matter? Getting angry seeing your little underlings killed one by one. While the boss is blinded by its rage, he calmly turns and kills the last of its minions, telling the bear, "Don't worry, once I finish off the last one, I'll deal with you." The bear's eyes glow with pure hatred as it watches its final guard fall, its fury now completely focused on Su Jingming. With the battlefield finally cleared, the true final battle begins as the enraged second-order beast charges forward for a one-on-one duel to the death. The final battle begins, and Su Jingming is immediately surprised by the beast's intelligence. Damn, it actually predicted my move. The bloodthirsty violent bear showcases its immense power, catching his lightning-fast spear thrust in its powerful jaws. It then goes on the offensive, smashing its paws into the ground and creating a powerful shockwave to disrupt his footing. The attack is so powerful it leaves a massive, web-like crater in the street, a clear display of a second-order beast's strength. Forced on the defensive, Su Jingming leaps into the air and prepares to counterattack from above with his lightning-infused spear. With a wild grin, he welcomes the challenge. Finally, no more small fry in the way. Now let me see whether your armor-like fur can withstand my thunderous might. He lands a direct hit, plunging his supercharged spear deep into the back of the colossal beast. The attack results in a massive, spectacular explosion of divine violet lightning, all of which is captured by the nearby broadcast drone. The scene cuts to the other top rankers, who are watching from a distance in complete and utter silence. It then cuts again to the VIP viewing room, where the director and principals are also left completely speechless by the incredible power lighting up their monitor. Back in the VIP room, an enraged director Zhang Wenshan grabs Principal Zhao Yao, shouting, "Principal Zhao, you call this an E-class ability? Are you kidding me?" The other officials are in complete agreement, noting that even a powerful A-class ability would struggle to fight on par with a second-order boss like this. A flustered and confused Principal Zhao Yao can only stammer a wild guess, wondering if it could be a rare ability mutation. The director, however, is now completely captivated by the battle on screen, declaring that no matter the reason, Su Jingming's name will shake the entire nation after today. On the battlefield, the smoke clears to reveal that the bloodthirsty violent bear, though wounded, has survived the lightning blast and is now more furious than ever. The colossal beast towers over Su Jingming, its fangs bared and ready to tear him to shreds. Su Jingming is blown back by the beast's powerful aura, shocked to see his ultimate attack only resulted in a superficial wound. He is immediately forced on the defensive, dodging the beast's enraged counterattack. He quickly realizes that this rare beast's hide is not only impervious to blades, but also doesn't conduct electricity, making his lightning attacks far less effective. With its enemy now on the back foot, the bloodthirsty violent bear's eyes begin to glow with a dark energy as it prepares to unleash its own special ability. The bloodthirsty violent bear activates its special ability, its entire body becoming wreathed in a dark, menacing aura. Su Jingming is visibly shocked by the sudden and massive spike in the beast's power. The beast then showcases its terrifying new skill, creating a smaller, spectral clone of itself to attack alongside. He is immediately thrown on the defensive, forced to parry a flurry of powerful, lightning-fast attacks. He quickly realizes what's happened. It activated its berserk skill so quickly. It seems this bloodthirsty violent bear truly hates me. Now fully in its berserk state, the final boss radiates an aura of pure, unstoppable rage. The beast lets out a deafening roar, its power now fully amplified to its absolute peak. It then launches a coordinated pincer attack with its clone, putting Su Jingming in an extremely dangerous position. He is physically overwhelmed by the sheer force of the berserk beast's assault, getting pushed back for the first time. Yet, even as he's being overpowered, a confident smirk appears on his face, as he's simply fascinated by the power of the berserk state. He quickly analyzes the beast's berserk state, noting that it has lost its intelligence and is now just a killing machine, making an agile approach the best strategy. He puts his plan into action, gracefully dodging the beast's powerful but predictable attacks. His strategy is simple: avoid a direct confrontation and wait for the perfect opportunity to temporarily incapacitate. He finds his opening, slipping under the beast's guard and preparing a powerful, lightning-infused counterattack. He unleashes a massive orb of condensed electrical energy that strikes the beast head-on, stunning it. The sheer force of the blast sends the colossal, bloodthirsty, violent bear stumbling backward, completely dazed. With his opponent now wide open, Su Jingming's eyes glow with power as he begins to chant the name of his ultimate skill, Nine Heavens Divine Light. He raises his hand to the sky, gathering a storm of celestial energy, and with a final roar, commands it to blast it. A massive pillar of pure violet lightning descends from the heavens, striking the helpless beast with the force of a meteor. The final battle of the power exam ends in a spectacular, overwhelming explosion of divine energy, the ultimate display of an S-ranker's might. The dust settles, and Su Jingming stands over the smoking body of the bloodthirsty violent bear, seemingly victorious. He confidently remarks, "Half a minute of purple divine lightning. Even the thickest defense can't withstand it." But the battle isn't over yet. The second-order beast's eyes snap open and it rises to its feet, letting out a final, defiant roar. It reveals its true trump card, unleashing a powerful paralysis skill that instantly freezes Su Jingming in place. Trapped and unable to move, Su Jingming can only watch as the beast looms over him for the final kill. But even while paralyzed, he begins to channel his remaining power, focusing all of his will into his spear. He combines his divine lightning with his ultimate combat technique, forcing his body to move through sheer willpower. With a final desperate roar of break, he unleashes his lightning gale break, firing it directly into the beast's wide-open mouth. The attack creates a devastating internal vortex of wind and lightning, tearing the beast apart from the inside out. The final battle of the power exam ends in a massive, fiery explosion, as the second-order beast is finally and spectacularly defeated. When the smoke from the final explosion clears, the colossal, bloodthirsty, violent bear lies dead, a massive hole blown straight through its chest. A system notification appears, awarding Su Jingming a well-earned 24 ability points for defeating the second-order beast. He lands, catching his breath, and declares the battle finally over, satisfied that the points he invested into his skills truly paid off. A bead of sweat rolls down his face, but he smiles, thinking that it was the most exhilarating battle he's ever experienced. As the only person left standing in the core zone, he can't help but wonder what his final score will be after such a dominant performance. The scene quietly transitions to the end of the long and brutal 12-hour exam. Back in the VIP room, the final leaderboard is displayed, and the crowd erupts. Su Jingming is in first place with an unbelievable 10,835 points. The officials are ecstatic, shouting that his score has shattered not only the city record but the entire Jiangnan provincial record as well. Director Zhang Wenshan points out that with a score this high, Su Jingming has practically guaranteed himself the title of this year's provincial champion. A final shot of the exam shows Su Jingming still hunting beasts even in the last moments, proving his victory was earned through relentless effort. But even after defeating the final boss, Su Jingming isn't done, deciding to head back to the central area to kill every last beast and maximize his score. From a distant rooftop, the team of top rankers watches him, still reeling from what they just witnessed. Zhou Mingyang is in disbelief that Su Jingming killed a Tier 2 Beast King, while Tang Qi wonders why he's still fighting instead of ending the exam with his massive lead. One of the students observes his trajectory, realizing with dawning horror that he's heading back in their direction. The horrifying truth dawns on them as another student gasps, "Wait, he's not going back to clear out the remaining beasts, is he?" They all come to the same, monstrous conclusion at once. He's going to kill every single beast left in the entire exam area. A panicked Zhou Mingyang realizes his chance to score any more points is about to vanish, so he immediately abandons the team and sprints off to hunt. This sets off a chain reaction, as the entire super team disbands into a chaotic free-for-all, desperately trying to find any leftover beasts before Su Jingming does. 1 hour later, the official announcement finally echoes through the now silent, war-torn city. The 2037 combat exam has concluded. A weary and battle-worn Tang Qi wipes the sweat from her brow, relieved that the grueling and chaotic examination is finally over. While some students celebrate barely passing the brutal exam, and others mourn falling just short, our hero has a very different problem. Standing amidst a mountain of fresh kills, a slightly disappointed Su Jingming thinks to himself, "Did it end this quickly? What a shame, I wasn't satisfied yet." As the exam concludes, the exhausted survivors gather at the exit point, waiting for the gates to open. Among them are Lin Qingwan and her team, who stand in complete silence, thoroughly humbled by their experience. Outside, Tang Qi's friend Xiaoya, who had previously dismissed Su Jingming, is now fawning over her, repeatedly asking if the #1 ranker is really her cousin. Her true motive is revealed as she shamelessly begs a very annoyed Tang Qi for her now famous cousin's contact information. When reminded of her earlier disinterest, Tang Qi coolly replies that things are different now that he is the champion of the exam. Suddenly, a shout from the crowd cuts through the air. "Look, Su Jingming is coming out of the exam venue." This announcement causes a massive stir, with the entire crowd surging forward, desperate to get a look at the new provincial record holder. And then he emerges from the gate, looking completely calm, confident, and unscathed, the very image of an undisputed champion. With his victory secured, Su Jingming is immediately swarmed by his fellow students, all of them cheering his name and congratulating him on his unbelievable performance. He tries to navigate the chaotic crowd of new admirers as he makes his way back to the bus. We then see a humbled Zhou Mingyang, who admits that the #1 spot should have belonged to him, but he's content with his score knowing what a monster his school produced. Just as he's about to board the bus, his principal, Zhao Yao, introduces him to the director of the Education Bureau, who offers him a personal ride home. Realizing that going back on the bus would just mean a barrage of questions from his classmates, Su Jingming wisely accepts the offer. In the car, the director asks him which of the superpower universities he's decided to attend. Su Jingming admits that he's been so focused on getting stronger that he hasn't really thought about which university to go to. The director explains that with his record-breaking score, any university in the country would accept him, but he highly recommends one of the top 3. First is Qingjing Superpower University, an official government-affiliated school that guarantees its graduates a high-ranking position in the system. Second is Modu Superpower University, which is known for its excellent resources and its famous alumni, including the current Tier 9 National Guardian. The director finishes by introducing the third option, Jincheng Superpower University, noting that all 3 top schools possess exclusive, top-tier cultivation methods. This immediately grabs Su Jingming's attention, as he knows he needs a cultivation method to advance, and he asks what makes a top-tier method so special. The director explains that a top-tier method can cut down the time it takes to become a ranked superpower user from 4 years to just 6 months. He reassures Su Jingming that with his score, he'll receive special admission offers from all of them and can choose whichever he wants. Having been dropped off at his home, a grateful Su Jingming thanks the director and heads inside. The next day, he's shown taking a well-deserved shower, washing away the dirt and exhaustion from the brutal exam. He checks his final status, confident that his incredible 2,534 ability points will be more than enough to secure his future. Now refreshed, his mind is already on the next step, as he plans to venture into the wilderness to continue his training. Just then, his cousin Tang Qi and his aunt, Su Qingwan, arrive at his apartment for a visit. Finding the door broken, they decide to sneak in and surprise him, bursting in and shouting, "Jingming, surprise!" Fresh out of the shower, Su Jingming is shocked to find his aunt and cousin standing in his living room, leading to a very awkward moment for everyone involved. His aunt, Su Qingwan, is more concerned about the state of his apartment, demanding to know how the room got so completely wrecked. A tender flashback reveals that after his parents passed away, his aunt lovingly took him in and became his guardian. Now fully dressed, his aunt tells him how worried she was, reassuring him that his safety is all that matters and his score is unimportant. Surprised that she doesn't know, he turns to his cousin and asks, did Sister Qi not tell you?" A mischievous Tang Qi winks at him, deciding it would be more fun if he delivered the good news himself. With a shy smile, Su Jingming tells her, "Aunt, I did quite well this time. I scored over 10,000 points." The news is so shocking that his aunt, who was taking a sip of her soda, does a massive, comical spit take. She clutches her heart, thinking he must be lying, but Tang Qi happily confirms that her cousin really did score over 11,000 points. The scene ends with his aunt left completely stunned and speechless, unable to process her nephew's incredible, life-changing achievement. The heartwarming family reunion continues, with his aunt crying tears of pride, telling Su Jingming that his parents in heaven would be so proud of him. Meanwhile, in a top university's recruitment office, officials are reviewing his case, perplexed by his official file which lists him as having a weak E-class ability. This discrepancy causes a heated argument, with some recruiters insisting they must recruit him while others are convinced his score must be fake. The debate gets uglier, with some even suggesting he must have cheated, finding it impossible for a top scorer to come from a small city like Jiangxing. A senior, blindfolded official silences the room, putting an end to the chaotic squabbling. The lead recruiter makes her executive decision. They will tentatively list him as an S-class recruit, but she will personally go to Jiangxing to investigate it. Back at the gym, Su Jingming receives the official text from the Education Bureau, confirming his score of 11,124 and his rank as #1 in the entire province. He looks at the confirmation message, a wide, satisfied smile spreading across his face. He clenches his fist in victory, celebrating his incredible achievement as the official top scorer in all of Jiangnan province. His unprecedented victory immediately goes viral, with news outlets and social media users alike debating furiously about the mysterious rank who came out of nowhere to shatter every record. The story picks up at an official awards ceremony hosted by Second High School, where Principal Zhao Yao and Teacher Chen Fan are facing a massive crowd of reporters. The media immediately goes on the attack, grilling Principal Zhao Yao about the widespread online rumors that Su Jingming's record-breaking score was the result of cheating. In response, Principal Zhao Yao confidently announces that the school has uploaded Su Jingming's entire unedited exam footage online for public verification. The footage is immediately met with shock and awe, as viewers witness his incredible power firsthand and question how he could possibly be an ERA. With the video evidence silencing all the doubters, Principal Zhao Yao proudly declares his students' results to be 100% authentic. He then unveils the incredible rewards from the city: a 1 million yuan cash prize, a rare ability training manual, and a luxury villa. The crowd of reporters goes wild at the sight of the massive rewards, knowing that this story is now front-page news. Meanwhile, the lead recruiter from the top university arrives in Jiangcheng, noting that while the footage clears him of cheating, she still needs to confirm his true ability rank in person. Back at the ceremony, the officials start to panic as the guest of honor, Su Jingming, is late, but teacher Chen Fan reveals he's still training at the dojo. This news only impresses Principal Zhao Yao, who laughs with pride at the incredible diligence of his new star student. The scene shifts to a tense meeting room, where a very nervous Principal Zhao Yao is serving tea to 3 intimidating guests. The pressure in the room is so immense that his hands are visibly shaking, causing the teacups to rattle on the tray. He can feel the overwhelming auras of the 3 visitors, each one a powerful, high-level ability user who has clearly seen real combat. These auras are visualized as 3 terrifying beasts, each one representing the power and prestige of one of the top 3 universities in the nation. Principal Zhao Yao begins to sweat, worried that the intense rivalry between these powerful individuals is about to break out into an actual fight. Breaking the silence, Zhang Chaoyue, the director of admissions for Moda University, asks which genius they are all fighting over this time. The stunning Su Yun from Qingjing University immediately stakes her claim, declaring that as long as his results are real, Su Jingming belongs to them. Her claim is instantly challenged by the imposing Wu Yuan of Jin City University, who scoffs and says that Su Jingming is going to his school instead. Their powerful auras begin to visibly clash in the air, confirming that a tense confrontation between the top universities is just beginning. But just as the tension reaches its breaking point, the door slides open, and the man of the hour, Su Jingming, calmly walks in and greets them. The arrival of Su Jingming immediately captures the full attention of the 3 powerful and imposing university recruiters. Zhang Chaoyue of Moda University is inwardly impressed, noting his sharp, focused aura and the fact that he's completely unfazed by their combined pressure. A very nervous Principal Zhao Yao formally introduces the 3 esteemed guests, the directors of admission from the top 3 universities in the nation. Zhang Chaoyue begins by complimenting Su Jingming's impressive combat skills, which she has already reviewed from his exam footage. She then gets right to the point, asking him to explain the massive discrepancy between his demonstrated power and his officially registered E-rank ability. As expected, Su Jingming calmly provides his prepared cover story, claiming his ability mutated and grew stronger after he was struck by natural light. The other recruiters, Su Yun and Wu Yuan, immediately recognized the signs of a rare and coveted ability mutation. Having anticipated this, Zhang Chaoyue reveals a high-tech ability detection device she brought just for this occasion. She places the device on the floor and instructs him to stand on it and unleash his full power for a proper analysis. Su Jingming steps onto the platform, and a massive column of violet lightning erupts from his body, ready to be measured. The recruiters are left in awe of his power, with Su Yun admitting that his violent lightning is so strong it sent a shiver through her chest. The ability detector completes its scan, identifying his power as Violet Heaven Divine Thunder, but it seems to be struggling to assign it a rank. A moment later, the device begins to beep erratically, crackling with an energy overload as it fails to process his immense power. Unable to handle the sheer output of an S-rank ability, the expensive, high-tech detector violently explodes. The force of the explosion sends shrapnel flying across the room, forcing everyone to duck for cover. A completely bewildered Principal Zhao Yao can only stammer, what's going on?" as chaos erupts in his office. The other recruiters, however, understand exactly what this means, realizing that he actually overloaded the detector and his ability must be at least S-rank. A victorious smile spreads across Zhang Chaoyue's face as she thinks to herself, "I knew it. We really hit the jackpot this time." With his incredible talent now confirmed, the bidding war begins, as Wu Yuan from Jin City University makes a massive opening offer of 4 million yuan and a full set of C-rank gear. But the representative from the more prestigious Qingjing University, Su Yun, simply scoffs at this, clearly unimpressed and ready to make a counteroffer. The beautiful Su Yun from Qingjing University makes her counteroffer. A 6 million yuan enrollment bonus plus 4 years of unlimited access to all gear and training manuals. Su Jingming is visibly stunned by the sheer boldness and generosity of her offer. But then, Zhang Chaoyue from Modi University makes her pitch, offering no money, but unlimited access to any combat skills he wants, plus a guaranteed S-rank cultivation resource every year. This incredible offer leaves not only Su Jingming, but the other two competing recruiters completely speechless. Having never heard of such a thing, Su Jingming asks, "What's that?" Zhang Chaoyue explains the concept of dragon-type savage beasts, a species known for their innate and overwhelming power. These mythical creatures, she explains, are born at an incredible tier 4 or tier 5, putting them leagues above almost any other species. She then reveals her ultimate prize, the heart blood of a tier 8 dragon, an S-rank resource that can enhance a user's physique to be as strong as a dragon itself. The other recruiters are left frustrated and speechless, admitting that offering S-rank resources to a freshman is a truly competitive and almost unheard of offer. With all three incredible offers now on the table, the recruiters turn to Su Jingming and tell him that it's time for him to make his final decision. After hearing all three incredible offers, Su Jingming makes his choice with a confident smile. "I choose Modu Ability University." He explains that his decision is based on their top-tier practical combat training, which has produced half of the recent national tournament champions. He then turns and respectfully bows to the other two recruiters, politely thanking them for their very kind and generous offers. The victorious recruiter, Zhang Chaoyue, smiles smugly as the admission letters from the competing universities fade into nothingness. She formally presents him with his official letter of admission, informing him that as a special recruit, he can enroll earlier than the other freshmen. Always thinking ahead, Su Jingming immediately asks if he can get early access to the university's famous library of combat techniques. Zhang Chaoyue happily agrees, offering him a private study room and giving him her personal contact card for when he arrives in Demon City. Holding the beautiful admission letter, Su Jingming is filled with excitement for the next chapter of his life, exclaiming, "I can't wait to register." The scene transitions to the train station, where an emotional Su Jingming waves goodbye to his family as the train to Demon City is called for boarding. His aunt, Su Qingwan, and uncle, Tang Daolin, watch him leave, crying tears of joy, proud that their child has finally grown up and is on the path to greatness. Back at the train station, Tang Qi's parents encourage her to apply to a university in Demon City as well, so she and Su Jingming can look out for each other. A thoughtful Tang Qi agrees to her parents' request, quietly understanding their intentions. Meanwhile, on the train, Su Jingming decides to use the 6-hour journey to study the valuable training manual he won, the Abyssal Sea Training Method. A helpful diagram explains that, like abilities, training methods are also graded, with top-tier methods offering vastly superior cultivation speed. He notes that his new manual is an intermediate level 1, and with his high mental power, he was able to memorize the entire thing in just half a day. Following its instructions, he was able to sense the special energy of the world on his very first try. This success even triggered a level-up prompt from his system, but he has decided to hold off for now. He explains his patient strategy. Knowing that a better training method will yield greater results for his first breakthrough, he's decided to wait until he gets a top-tier 1 from Moda University. His journey finally ends as he arrives in the massive metropolis of Demon City and is picked up by a car from the university. He is immediately blown away by the scale of the campus, exclaiming that if the gate alone is over 100 meters wide, the university itself must be truly impressive. Upon his arrival at Moda University, Su Jingming is personally greeted by the director of admissions, Zhang Chaoyue, who gives him a ride in a flashy red sports car. As they drive through the beautiful campus, a tour guide explains that the university is a sprawling 40,000 acres, so massive that it can't be fully explored in a single day. Su Jingming is completely in awe of the sheer scale and beauty of his new school, thinking to himself that seeing is truly believing. His registration is handled with VIP speed, and he is quickly given his new student ID and all-in-one campus card. Next, she takes him to the student housing, and he is left speechless, thinking back on the simple dorms from his past life. He stares in utter disbelief at the sight before him, as he has never imagined a university that provides its students with luxury villas for dorms. Zhang Chaoyue explains that as the provincial top scorer, he gets the best of the best, an 800 square meter, 2-floor villa that he will share with one roommate. Having been an orphan in both of his lives, he thinks that while he might prefer a more crowded dorm, having a roommate is certainly better than being alone. Inside his new, incredibly luxurious home, Zhang Xiaoyue informs him that his enrollment is complete and begins his orientation on the school's key systems. She explains that there are two main points he must understand to succeed at Modu: the credit system and the dedicated mentor system. Zhang Xiaoyue begins by explaining the credit system, where credits are the universal currency for everything on campus, from meals to priceless treasures. She informs him that because he was rated as an S-level talent upon enrollment, he will receive a starting bonus of 100 credits for the year. A small, spherical drone floats into the room, and a synthetic voice announces, "Student Su Jingming, current credits, 100. Zhang Qiaoyue introduces the drone as EVA, the level 4 AI assistant assigned to each dorm room. Su Jingming is once again impressed, realizing that the AI technology in this world is far more advanced than in his previous life. She then moves on to the second key point: the dedicated mentor system, which allows students to become apprentices to high-level ability users. He is immediately intrigued, excited by the possibility of receiving one-on-one guidance from a powerful mentor. She explains that all mentors are high-tier users with unique, secret combat techniques that they only teach to their personal apprentices. Given his lightning affinity, she strongly recommends he seek out Yang Zhentian, the dean of the weapons college. The AI, EVA, immediately displays the dean's file, revealing him to be a legendary 7th-tier spear god, the perfect potential master for Su Jingming. Although Zhang Qiaoyue presents him with the files for the other 3 lightning mentors, the choice is ultimately his to make. After reviewing all the candidates, Su Jingming confirms his decision. Dean Yang is indeed my best choice for a mentor. The scene then shifts as he arrives at the dean's residence, a sprawling and incredibly luxurious traditional-style estate. He is once again blown away, realizing that the mentor's private residences are even more magnificent than the student villas. At the entrance, he is greeted by a senior student who correctly guesses, here to seek apprenticeship. The senior is visibly surprised to learn that Su Jingming, a highly touted special recruit, is still just an unranked awakener. He notes that this is highly unusual, as all previous special recruits have been at least mid-level, first-tier ability users. The senior introduces himself as Tan Mingyang, a sophomore from the weapons college, and Su Jingming introduces himself as a newly registered freshman. Tan Mingyang finds his eagerness amusing, telling him that most freshmen wait until after the upcoming freshman tournament to seek out a mentor. He explains that this tournament is a university tradition where new students can show off their skills and hopefully be chosen as a direct disciple by one of the powerful mentors. The friendly senior, Tan Mingyang, warns him that trying to get an apprenticeship with the dean so early is like trying to win the lottery. Su Jingming thanks him for the advice and then asks if Tan Mingyang is also here to seek an apprenticeship with teacher Yang. Tan Mingyang admits that he has been trying and failing to get an audience with the dean for the past 6 months. But just as he says this, the massive doors to the residence creak open, much to his surprise. A butler warmly welcomes both students inside, informing them that teacher Yang is waiting to see them. This unexpected welcome gives Tan Mingyang a surge of hope, as he's never been allowed inside before. The two are led into a grand hall, where they finally come face-to-face with the master of the house. Su Jingming is immediately struck by the incredibly intense aura of the legendary 7th-tier spear master, Dean Yang Zhentian. The dean addresses him directly, saying that Director Zhang Qiaoyue had already informed him of his arrival and asks him to come to the training room. There, Dean Yang explains that while he was impressed with his exam footage, he wants to see Su Jingming's S-rank ability with his own eyes. As requested, Su Jingming gathers his power to demonstrate his ability for the legendary Dean Yang Zhentian. He unleashes a massive torrent of energy, filling the entire training hall with a spectacular and violent storm of violet lightning. Dean Yang is visibly impressed, his hair and clothes blown back by the sheer force of the S-rank Purple Heaven Divine Thunder. He internally admits that the gap between his own A-rank ability and Su Jingming's S-rank is impossible to bridge, and that the boy's potential is limitless. Satisfied, the dean tells him that with his incredible potential, becoming his disciple is naturally not a problem. However, he gives him one final warning. Being his disciple is dangerous, as his many powerful enemies may one day come after Su Jingming. Without any hesitation, Su Jingming kneels before the master, performing the traditional salute of a disciple. He looks up with a determined smile and declares, "This disciple is willing," showing he is not afraid of the path ahead. An overjoyed Dean Yang laughs and accepts him. Good, good, good. From today, you are my 32nd disciple, and my first S-rank disciple. As a welcoming gift, he bestows upon his new student 2 top-tier techniques of his own creation, the Extreme Ability Training Method and the Thunder Indestructible Body. Looking at the new manual, Su Jingming realizes that the Thunder Indestructible Body is a body tempering technique, far more precious than any simple combat skill. His new master, Yang Jintian, explains that the technique is his life's work, embodying all of his knowledge and effort. He then drops a bombshell, revealing that the technique has been officially certified by the top martial halls as an S-rank combat technique, shocking Su Jingming. A helpful diagram shows just how incredible this is, with S-rank being at the very peak of the combat technique pyramid. Su Jingming is in awe of his master's talent, as most high-level users are lucky if they can create a single A-rank technique in their lifetime. Dean Yang explains that to begin cultivating this 13-level technique, Su Jingming must first officially break through from an awakener to a ranked ability user. He gives his new disciple his first task: go and use the extreme ability training method to advance, and then return for his personal guidance. A very grateful Su Jingming thanks his new teacher, realizing how much easier his journey will be with a mentor's help. The dean then reveals his personal stake in this, admitting that he himself is stuck at the 10th level of the technique and is pinning his hopes on his new S-rank disciple. He looks at Su Jingming with great hope, speculating that one who masters the technique can achieve a truly legendary physique. His new master finishes by promising that his technique can make one's physique eternal and indestructible. As Su Jingming leaves the lavish residence, he finds the senior student, Tan Mingyang, sitting on the steps in utter despair. He walks over and asks the dejected senior what's wrong. Tan Mingyang explains the impossible trial he must pass to become a disciple, feeling that his dream is utterly hopeless. He then tries to console Su Jingming on his own failure, but is cut short when Su Jingming politely informs him that he has already passed and been accepted. The news is so shocking that it causes Tan Mingyang's nose to bleed, as he's never heard of a dean accepting a disciple before the freshman competition. He can only watch in stunned silence as the freshman leaves, wondering just who this incredible person is. Back in his private training room, Su Jingming begins practicing the new top-tier extreme ability training method. He immediately feels the immense difference, as the primordial energy he can sense is far more potent than with his previous method. A confident smirk spreads across his face as he decides to take a shortcut. Since he's already mastered the theory, he'll just use his ability points to advance directly. Having mastered the theory, Su Jingming decides to use his cheat system to bypass the tedious training, commanding his system, add points, increase level. The breakthrough begins instantly, as a massive wave of primordial energy floods his body. He grits his teeth and endures the excruciating pain as his physique is forcibly evolved to the next level. His entire body tenses under the strain, the immense power threatening to tear him apart from the inside. The process culminates in a massive explosion of violet lightning that erupts from his body, filling the entire training room with its light. Finally, the transformation is complete, and a sweating, exhausted Su Jingming breathes a sigh of relief, having successfully broken through to become a first-tier ability user. He looks at his hands, feeling the new, refined power that now flows through him like a gentle stream. He tests his ability, effortlessly summoning a stable and powerful manifestation of his divine light. He can feel that his power has at least quadrupled, confident that he could now defeat the exam's final boss with his bare hands. A check of his status screen confirms the massive boost to his stats, and he now truly understands the immense gap between an intermediate and a top-tier cultivation method. After his breakthrough, Su Jingming notes that the advancement only cost him 300 points and decides to save the rest for learning new combat techniques. He now turns his attention to the S-rank, Thunder Indestructible Body manual, knowing that mastering it will be a long and difficult process. The very next day, he returns to his master's residence, much to the dean's surprise. Dean Yang Jintian is completely floored by his disciple's speed, stammering, "This, so fast." He explains that in his 20 years as a teacher, he's never seen any genius, no matter how talented, advance to a ranked user in less than 24 hours. Su Jingming humbly says that his advancement speed is his only talent and admits that he is already struggling to understand the Thunder Indestructible Body. The dean explains that this is because the technique requires a special foundation, the blood of a powerful lightning element beast. Now that he has successfully advanced, his master declares that today is the day they will forge that very foundation. He then reveals that he pulled some strings with the university, combining the resources he had with the school's promised S-rank resource to create a legendary SS Rank 1. He presents his new disciple with the ultimate prize, the essence blood of an 8th-tier ferocious beast, the mighty Thunder Tyrannosaurus. Deeply moved by his master's generosity, Su Jingming vows that he will surely repay this immense kindness many times over in the future. Pleased by his disciple's sincere heart, Dean Yang Jintian tells him that the time has come to begin the forging. In the training room, The process starts as the dean pours the potent 8th-tier essence blood directly onto Su Jingming's body, causing him to cry out in agony. The master warns him to bear with it, explaining that the blood is highly toxic and the intense pain is to be expected. He then declares his intent to use his own power to guide the process. But how much his disciple can absorb is entirely up to him. The legendary dean unleashes his own A-rank ability, the powerful Wind Fire True Thunder. He channels his crimson lightning directly into Su Jingming, beginning the excruciating body tempering process. His disciple's veins bulge and glow like magma as the dragon's blood and the master's thunder surge through his body. He can't help but let out a silent scream as his body is torn apart and reforged by the two immense powers. 5 days later, another of the dean's disciples remarks to the butler that this new junior is unexpectedly resilient for having endured the painful process for so long. One of the dean's other disciples praises his new junior's resilience, admitting that he himself only lasted 2 days in the ritual with weaker blood. He says he is eagerly looking forward to seeing the results of the Thunder Undying body when paired with an S-rank lightning ability. Suddenly, a massive tremor shakes the entire residence, the violent rumbling coming from the second-floor training room. The senior disciple rushes up the stairs, wondering aloud if his junior brother's foundation shaping has finally succeeded. He peeks through the door of the training room to see what's going on inside. He is greeted by a terrifying sight. Su Jingming's eyes are glowing a feral red as his body emits an overwhelming and uncontrollable aura. The senior is shocked, recognizing that the sense of threat coming from his junior is on par with that of a top-tier ferocious beast. This wild, untamed power is so intense that it sends a literal chill of fear down the high-level disciple's spine. Just as it seems that Su Jingming has lost control, his master, Dean Yang, appears and bellows, "Jingming, wake up!" The powerful shout seems to break the trance. As Su Jingming lands on the floor, the feral red light in his eyes fading as he returns to his senses. A confused Su Jingming clutches his head, asking his master, "What just happened to me? Why did I have an urge to destroy things?" Dean Yang Jintian explains that it was a side effect of the ferocious thunder tyrant dragon's blood essence influencing his mind. He reassures him that as his own power grows and his will strengthens, these feral side effects will gradually disappear. Relieved, Su Jingming says that's good, as he has no desire to be controlled by his emotions. The dean's expression then shifts to one of pure joy, as he reveals that the forging was a perfect success, and that Su Jingming achieved a record-breaking 98% absorption rate. His senior brother, Lu Ming, congratulates him on successfully shaping his foundation, and the dean introduces him as a peak third-rank ability user. After a friendly greeting, his new senior generously decides to transfer him some credits as a welcoming gift. Su Jingming is shocked to find that this small gift is 200 credits, the equivalent of 2 million in cash. His master simply explains that it is a tradition for seniors to take good care of their juniors. With the 5-day ordeal finally over, the dean tells him to go and rest, and to return the next morning to officially begin his training. After leaving his master, Su Jingming finally arrives at his luxurious new home for the next 4 years. He enters the villa and is surprised to see that his new roommate has already moved in and is busy playing video games. The friendly, white-haired student greets him warmly, introducing himself as Lu Wentao and correctly guessing that Su Jingming must be his roommate. However, upon hearing his name, Lu Wentao is completely starstruck, recognizing him as the legendary top scorer of Jiangnan province. He explains that Su Jingming's performance in the exam caused such a massive commotion that everyone in their year knows who he is. The very enthusiastic roommate immediately starts asking a million questions, curious about the truth behind the rumors surrounding his abilities. While he finds his new chatterbox roommate a bit intense, Su Jingming is secretly happy, as he has hated loneliness in both of his lives. A sad flashback reveals that he grew up as an orphan in his previous life, never adopted, and always feeling like he didn't belong. The flashback continues, showing that his happiest and most cherished memories were of his time in university, joking and gaming with his old roommates. Back in the present, he smiles, realizing that even though he is still an orphan in this new world, with a friendly roommate like this, he won't be lonely anymore. After settling in, Su Jingming decides to head to the martial arts hall, and his excited roommate, Lu Wentao, eagerly tags along. They arrive at the university's impressive branch of the famous Thunder Martial Hall. Upon entering, Lu Wentao is immediately struck by the lively and energetic atmosphere of the massive training facility. The hall is filled with a dazzling variety of students, all showing off their powerful and unique abilities. Lu Wentao explains that this is the public training room, a huge hall made of durable C-grade alloy where students can go all out without worrying about damage. Declining the offer of a private room, Su Jingming decides to stay in the public area to get a feel for his new school. They watch as other powerful students train, including a top 10A rank werewolf from another province who is causing quite a stir. Su Jingming's attention is then drawn to a set of large, numbered pillars, and he asks his AI assistant, EVA, for an explanation. EVA explains that they are strength testing pillars with leaderboards for each of the 5 tiers, offering a 50 credit reward for making the top 3,000. Seeing an easy opportunity for some quick cash, a confident Lu Wentao steps up to the pillar, ready to take the challenge. Lu Wentao confidently swipes his student ID card, officially starting the boxing strength challenge. The machine announces his entry, and he glances back at Su Jingming, a determined look on his face. His attempt immediately draws the attention of a group of seniors, who gather around to watch the fun, correctly guessing that he's a freshman. Feeling the pressure of the audience, Lu Wentao steels himself, determined not to make a fool of himself. With a powerful shout, he unleashes all of his physical strength into a single, focused punch. The blow lands squarely on the testing pillar with a loud, satisfying thud. The system announces a respectable score of 476 kilograms, and Lu Wentao smiles, confident he has easily secured the reward. But his smile vanishes when the machine delivers the shocking news. His rank is somewhere after 100,000. The AI then reveals the cruel prank. The leaderboard counts every student in the university's 100-year history, and he realizes he's been scammed. The onlooking seniors erupt in laughter, mercilessly mocking the bright red, humiliated face of the freshman who fell for their trap. Su Jingming consoles his embarrassed roommate, who then challenges him to try the strength test for himself. He agrees, curious to test his own strength, and steps up to the pillar as Lu Wentao cheers him on to uphold their dorm's honor. His challenge is announced, and it immediately draws the attention of a new group of powerful and intimidating-looking students. The seniors scoff at his seemingly weak aura, dismissing him as another freshman, though one of them feels like his name sounds familiar. We see a glimpse of his status screen, confirming that his recent body forging has massively boosted his physique. He clenches his fist, eager to find out exactly what level his raw physical strength has reached. He winds up and throws a punch with perfect form, his sheer speed creating visible shockwaves in the air. The punch lands with an incredible explosion of force, the impact echoing throughout the entire martial hall.